Hello everyone, Gomirath here, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the best pets from the mechanical family. Now, as you can see here on my roster with almost all the different families that I have listed, I only have two pet teams for them, but with mechanical as well as with undead, I've got three just because I think there's so many great pets in these families and that are really useful in unique situations. So the first one I want to talk about is this little guy right here, the Clockwork Gnome. Now, he is the only character in the game that's got the build turret ability. It used to be a little bit stronger, but it's still fairly strong. And you're able to have two of them up at the same time for 2 rounds. And this guy has repair, so he can last for a long time. You combine that with railgun, and he's even stronger against other mechanical type pets. He is from archaeology. Takes a hot minute to get. It took me on my DK doing archaeology for about 2.5 days straight, where that's all I was doing to finally get my Clockwork Gnome, just because they were too expensive on the auction house at the time. But he's definitely somebody you want to throw in your collection. Really cool. Good for some fights. He gets totally countered by the Emperor Crab, so I don't think he's as strong in PvP as he used to be, and you really don't see him quite as much, but he's still a cool pet. Now, this little guy right here, the Cogblade Raptor, he is one of my favorite pets in PvE. He is a mechanical type who has a beast type attack as well as mechanical type attack. So you could be strong versus critters and strong versus beasts with this guy. And when you run expose wounds and batter, it really makes it so you're hitting all kinds of crazy hard. And you're really fast at 341 speed. So I think he is a great pet. Definitely, I love using him in PvE. I don't quite use him very much in PvP just because he's really squishy. Well, not really squishy. He's fairly squishy. So, yeah. Cogblade Raptor. He's found out in the Blade's Edge Mountains in Outland. Now, this next guy right here, the Darkmoon Tonk. Oh, I can't tell you how happy I was when I finally got this pet. He is really, really strong. I've seen him used in PvP and PvE pretty effectively. Most people, they'll either run missile, minefield, and ion cannon. I see that quite a bit. But also there's some who run shock and awe, which is a really heavy-hitting move that has a fairly good chance to stun. So he's just a powerhouse. And he's really great in certain PvE fights. So snag one of these guys. They're 90 tickets. He's from the Darkmoon Faire. The next guy is also from the Darkmoon Faire, and this is the Darkmoon Zep. I call him my Level Express because I use him in a bunch of different leveling teams. And really useful because he has Decoy and Explode. Normally these are on the same tier set, where they'll be in the same ability category, so you can't run both of them together. So he's really effective in a couple fights, like what's the name of that tamer? The Thundering Pandaren Spirit, as well as I use him Waste Walker. I think it's Waste Walker Cho. I'm not sure. I can't remember his name, but I use him in MOP content for leveling up other pets. Now, the Fluxfire Feline, this used to... Oh, and by the way, Darkmoon Faire, 90 tickets. Now, the Fluxfire Feline, he used to be a lot stronger. They nerfed him where he doesn't hit quite so hard, but he's got a really good setup here where he can go either way. So you can run Overtune, Supercharge, and Pounce to have a really, really heavy-hitting Pounce, and to be able to get the double hit on it, because you got the Overtune, which makes it so you're always going to go first. Or you can go Supercharged Flux or Prowl Flux, which is another really heavy hitting move, which I like doing that one. So yeah, he's a really good pet. You used to see him in PvP all the time. Not quite so much anymore, but still somebody who's really cool. And you know, he's a cat type that looks all mechanical. Now, the Iron Starlet, he was really, really prolific towards the end of Mists of Pandaria. He was from the quest line that was an introduction to Draenor, and I sold a bunch of mine. It was before I was really into pet battles, and so I just kept one, and luckily I kept the power breed, which is one of his best breeds. Now, if you're running this guy in PvP, you're probably going to be running Powerball, Wind Up, and Supercharge. And you Powerball, you wind up to where they can't, so you're faster than anybody, so like they can't dodge your attacks, and you hit Supercharge, and then you finish your wind up, and it does just an absurd amount of damage. Now, another strategy with this guy is if you get the HH breed, you can run Explode, and it actually is better on an HH breed, because the HH breed has an additional 325 health, which makes your Explode do like an extra 100 damage or 50 damage. It's not a ton, but it's still significant. I definitely recommend picking one of these guys up off the auction house. Now, the last set of pets here that I want to talk about, the All-Star, excuse me, sorry about that. The All-Star of mechanical pets is definitely the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. He's the only double counter to magic types in the game, where he's a mech type that's got a dragon move, and he also has Decoy and Thunderbolt, and that like this combination here is what you'll almost always see him run, and he's just great. He's a little bit slow for an SS breed, like 309 speed is way slow, but he also does have bonus attack, so I mean, it kind of evens out in the end. But I love this guy. He's named Michael Phelps, just because, you know, all around Olympian, just a fantastic guy. And the last one I want to talk about here is the Sunreaver Micro Sentry. Now, I don't use this pet, but I know that he can be really, really useful. And what's super awesome is you can do Call Lightning and Fell Immolate, which is a really, really powerful combination. And then you can combine that with Haywire or with extra plating in the meantime, and you'll just do a ton of damage. It's a lot of dot damage with this setup. And this guy is a 25% drop off of the Haywire Sunreaver construct. I parked my Warlock out there and killed him, I don't know, 10 times, and probably got 5 or 6 of these guys. I tried to sell them, but I don't know. I think I don't know how to work the auction house, because I never really sold any of them. But he's just great, and he's really, really easy to pick up if you don't want to purchase him on the auction house. But he only sells for like 3K, so he's really cheap. But those are the mechanical types that I think are the best out of their family. If there's any I didn't mention, or you think, you know, are all-stars that didn't make this team, please let me know in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, like rating is always appreciated, and I hope you have a great night.